The stage is yours.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So, welcome everybody, and thank you so much for joining. Today, we're going to talk about the riddle of package manager solved by Conan. Maybe some of you heard about Conan, or maybe not, but we are trying basically to not changing the native build system. So, when developing an application as a team, each developer should be able to build the entire application from source, included in dependencies, and many large applications use multiple C and C++ open source projects, right? And unfortunately, they often have a unique and complicated build system. Like here is the first guy from the left, probably using CMake in this example, and the team in the middle using V2, while the yellow hoodie using the yellow using Mac, and the last one using Bazel. So in that case, Conan aims to reduce the burden of on the developers once the open source project has been packed with Conan. So Conan users no longer need to interact with the build system directly, just to use it. So in that case, we created the recipes, the Conan recipes, and whenever we would like to install such project, we can easily use the Conan install command. And Conan handles all the interaction with the build system in the background. With the Conan recipe, we will just have all of the details, and I'm going to show you it really quickly if I have some time for a demo. For any given project, the recipe will capture the build interaction of the project for any platform with any configuration, and the team can work together with Conan. So Conan team and the community already created thousands of recipes for many of the most popular open source library, so you don't have to create everything from scratch. We got tons of pull requests this year, and we're trying to create more and more, and I think it's a really cool project. You may want to check it out. Just search for Conan.io. So again, thank you so much for joining. Just a little bit about myself. My name is Batel Zohar, and I'm a developer advocate in JFrog. Before that, I was part of the support team and the high-tech solution team. Before that, I was an embedded engineer. And as you can see in the picture, I have an amazing doggy named Benja. And before a few months, we just adopted another beautiful baby named Sol. And feel free to reach out to me later. I would love to keep in touch. If you have any further questions, I'm pretty available. So just reach out after that. So, introduction to Conan. Before we start the example, I want to provide a brief instruction of Conan. If you don't really know, Conan is a package manager for C and C++. It's an open source and published with MIT licenses. It's multi-platform, meaning it can run on Linux, Windows, macOS, and anywhere else where Python can run. Conan is designed to support all the popular build system in C and C++, as well as the custom build system, which is not uncommon in enterprise environments. Conan is stable, which means that there are no breaking changes with a major version. And Conan is also very active. It has several full-time developer sponsors by JFrog, as well as very active user community, which submit dozens of pull requests each month. Also, our Slack channels has more than 1,200 members, and it's all most active channels in the C and C++ community. And finally, the Conan team has created multiple interactive self-paced training courses, and it's free. So feel free to check out the academy. I hope you're going to like it. So the high-level design of Conan is fairly standard compared to other well-known package manager. Like think about NPM, PyPy, Maven, or Yum. It features the common concept of a local repository, which will be used on Conan operation, and remote repositories for sharing package with easy-to-use upload-download capabilities. There is also centralized and moderate public repository with open source package, which known as Conan Center. So it's right here, as you can see here, with OSS packages and so on. And Artifactory is a server application provided in JFrog, which can host such remote Conan repositories that we'll be using for all our exercise. So again, whenever you are trying it, you can easily get Artifactory 2 to see how we can manage everything in one place. The hosting and moderating service for Conan Center are both provided by JFrog. So while Conan is similar to our package manager, it is high level. Here is the high level architecture. It's very unique in its package model. So the string showing in the box, you see the package 01 over here. Channel is an example of the recipe reference. This is the most simple and logical identifier there is for a package in Conan. One unique thing about the recipe reference is that they present any number of separate physical binaries with a unique build configuration. This package model is which is single identifier that can representing any number of unique build configuration is one Conan major innovation. So you can see here the server and the client and the recipe. And here's how Conan managed to do that. In simple terms, Conan assigned a unique ID for each unique configuration. This unique ID called package ID, and Conan uses that to various things for both the build and packaging process. So for example, the package ID is used for fundamentals part of the directory structure of sorted Conan packages. You can see here the options and the settings. And the client and the server also use the package ID as the matching mechanism when uploading and downloading binaries. For most of the operation you do in Conan, you must specify the build configuration. With the configuration, the Conan client will calculate the package ID for each package and use them for various interaction with the server. Also, once you have built or downloaded a specific binary for a package on your local machine, that binary can be used across any number of projects on the same mechanism with the same configuration. So with Conan, there is no need to rebuild the same binary multiple times with the same configuration. And let's talk a bit about the abstracting. Another major innovation of Conan is that it provides an abstracting layer over build system. When developing an application in the team, it's a typical requirement that each developer should be able to build the entire application from source, including in its dependency, right? It's pretty basic. So many C and C++ libraries and applications have multiple open source dependencies. Unfortunately, open source C and C++ dependencies often have unique and complex build systems. This is a major burden for C and C++ developers who want to focus on the code and not build system. So Conan aims to reduce this burden on the developers, and once the open source project has been packed with Conan, Conan user no longer need to interact with the build system directly, just using with the client with Conan. And instead, users can just install such project with the Conan install command, and Conan handle all the interaction in the build system in the background. So I have some time. I have the demo time. I have some time, and let's talk a bit about the demo. So from your left, you can see the timer.cpp and the Poco that we're using in Boost. You can easily try it with our training, as you can see in the bottom. Let's talk a bit about the CMake. You can see here also that we have the includes, which we're taking the Poco and the Boost. And in the Conan 5 PY, we're specifying the version and the package that we would like to download, as you can see here. So let's move here to just a sec. All right, so I just logged into the container, and the first thing that I did is just to create the build directory, as you can see here, and then I just run the Conan install command. So you can see that I'm reaching out to the Conan Center to get my packages. It's downloading each one of them from the remote from Conan Center. All right, then I write my CMake build over here, and there is my debug mode. Let's take it over here. You can see that I'm creating my package. And here it is, or this is the new Docker, sorry for that. Yeah. Cool, so I created my directory. I run Conan install because it may take some time, so I just did it before this session. Here you can see the settings and the configuration that I'm using for this package. And here you can see that I don't have it locally. I'm going to the remote, I take it for the Conan Center. Then I've downloaded everything, and I have my timer directory over my timer application over here. And I can easily search for my recipes to see the version that we are using. I can also see that I'm using zlib. So let's take zlib here. So let's see the version that we are using, 2.11. So let's get some more information about the package here. You can see the package ID that we talked about. You can see the settings about the architecture and the build type and so on. And we have much, much more than that. So therefore, we created a Conan cheat sheet that help you kind of a nice starting to learn more about Conan and how it's working. And you can easily try it on your own. And it seems like we still have some time. So just ask anything you want. I'm here for you guys. Oh, yeah, I see prudent. Sorry for the terminal. I can just try to zoom it again. Sorry for
No
that.
worries. So okay. Well, that was quick.
I tried, you told me 20 minutes, and this usually take much more longer than that. And I was like, all right, I'll try to do that as quick as I can.
Well, you were quicker than you needed to be, uh, which is fine. There's absolutely no reason there's an issue here. Hmm. I'm looking at if there's a question yet, and I don't see any. Uh, hmm. I guess we'll wait for a couple of minutes, as we have over the last few
Sure.
talks, and see if folks have questions.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Ooh, we have a question from Todd, which I will paste in here and hopefully bring up. Weep, need to move stuff around, and there we go.
Hey, Todd. Yeah, I just read it in the element, so I'll just repeat the questions on package ID. Is it possible for Conan packages to have multiple IDs? Yes, you create multiple IDs. You can also have it on your server, and if you're reusing it, we won't even save it twice when you're using Artifactory, for example, as your binary repository manager. We'll use it only once if you're referencing it for different builds and so on. So yes, you can have multiple IDs too. And we actually have an exercise for this on our academy, so you may want to check it out.
Pretty cool. And I guess we wait a little bit more to see if there's more questions.
Okay, cool.
Ooh, here's one.
So how does Conan compare to downloading a pre-built distro package? So basically, it's a bit different. We're trying to keep everything with our client so you can easily just run it. It's similar, but it's not exactly the same.
Uh, could you elaborate a bit
Sure.
in how it's different, perhaps more than similar?
Yeah, sure. So in that case, we're using the client itself. We can use a pre-built configuration, but in that case, we're not really using the client. With Conan client, we are just running the command and have everything installed on it. And we can also use the packing of pre-built binaries, and I send you some information about it actually. But think about the idea that you can combine everything together, right? You can use the pre-built, you can use other CME commands and so on. So kind of a way to keep everything in one place. That's what we try to create here.
Cool. I have
How do
another question.
Yeah, I find it here still, right?
Go
So
ahead and read it.
how do you expect the dependency solver in Conan 2.0 to improve on the 1.0 when you accept different binary reuse semantic outside of package ID? So actually, I don't have too many information about Conan 2.0 that I can share right now, but send me a message in private, and I would love to set up a call with our developers team and talk a bit more about it because I can't post too much for now. But just feel free to reach out to me later, and I would love to set it up.
Cool. Uh, I guess we wait for another minute or so
Oh
before we
wow!
wrap up the day, basically. Uh,
Oh
we
well,
still
thank
have
you
a
so
few
much.
minutes.
Yay! I have some time. I hope you like it.
There's some discussion about Conan using Python scripts for configuration, but I don't see more questions. So I guess we'll wrap it up here. Thanks for your talk.
Thank you so
Uh,
much. Have a great day.
and
Good night, actually,
likewise for
on
you.
your end. Yeah.
Indeed, in my end.